Welcome to Investors Insights. Our topic today is vaccination visibility. I am joined by my distinguished colleagues, Ashley Page, Bobby Norman, and Trey Booth. And we've just finished a great meeting for portfolio strategies and chose that topic because today in the United States, the vaccinations for COVID-19 are starting to take place. And with that, we're starting to see the light maybe at the end of the tunnel, the fog's starting to part, the news is coming at us at light speed, and we want to share with you the impact it could have on the markets, the economy, and your portfolio. So with that, Bobby, I want to start out with you because you brought up about the Fed and central banks, things that are going on, and so go on and elaborate on that, and then we're going to work that into the vaccination. Go ahead.
Yeah, Greg, the market moving event potentially with the Federal Reserve meeting this week. And the meeting this week holds great value and consequence, not only for the typical monetary policy implications, but also could serve as the final tradable or market moving event for 2020 and what's been a already crazy year. But the market could move based on Chairman Powell's press conference and what he says about the central bank's policy going into next year when we'll continue to have the economic seesaw because of the pandemic. Also, other uncertainties like a lack of a second stimulus, the potential for a no Brexit deal. But listen, here's the important point here. The Fed has been buying $120 billion of debt per month this year. That's been holding down interest rates and has been a huge driver, not only for the economic recovery, but what's been driving the market to come back so strong. And so the big question will be, will the Fed clarify its quantitative easing going into next year? Will they increase it? Will they keep it the level the same? And so watching what Chairman Powell says Wednesday is going to be very important because the Fed's job is not easy. They're having to manage an economy, and they're not getting help from Congress. And so what he says Wednesday is going to be very impactful.
Well, Bobby, I thought when we had our meeting, you summed that up very accurate in terms of what's got to happen this week and watching the Fed very closely and Chairman Powell. Trey, you interjected with some information just talking about all the debt and the central banks that are out there that I think that our viewers will find very interesting. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's not just the U.S. Low interest rate environment where the central bank is buying debt. It's a global low interest rate environment. We now are setting a record with $18.4 trillion with the T trillion dollars worth of negative yielding debt globally. And when you look at that, some negative yielding debt, that means that you buy a bond today, and between now and when it matures, you are guaranteed to lose money if you hold it to maturity. That concept is so foreign, a decade ago, has become commonplace, and it's because central banks have expanded their balance sheets. What the Fed says is so important because when you hear negative yielding debt, who buys that? Well, a lot of it's being bought by central banks, like Bobby said. Over $100 billion a month in the U.S. That's ECB. The European Central Bank is similar bond buying. Central banks' balance sheets are up 40% year over year, and that has really kept pressure on interest rates, keeping them low, providing liquidity to the market, allows companies to go to the debt markets to finance debt to get through this crisis at really low interest rates. It makes competitive markets like equities versus bonds, makes equities more attractive. So it creates an incentive for savers to go out the risk spectrum, which pushes up equity prices. And so that buyer of last resort, the Federal Reserve, the central banks across the world have really come out in force during this crisis. And what they say at the end of the year, looking to next year, could be, like Bobby said, extremely market moving. It's one of the two big market movers we're watching this week. And to your point, Greg, in the open, the second big market move is the vaccine is being distributed. I mean, it's unbelievable. Nearly 3 million doses are being distributed as we speak. 145 sites will receive doses today, and by Wednesday, just Wednesday of this week, 500 sites across the country will receive vaccination doses to give out to individuals. That is unbelievable logistics, and Ashley really kind of dug into that and how that really can help the economy. But those numbers are just inconceivable from a logistical standpoint. It really is unbelievable.
Yeah, we think that, with the Fed and the vaccinations, those are big market movers and economic movers going forward. As we said, as our topic, vaccination visibility. And Ashley, you did a great job talking about what's taking place with the vaccination and how that relates to our viewers. So go ahead, tell us about that.
Well, I'll be happy to, Greg. You have both the direct and indirect impact. The direct impact of the vaccine being delivered this week, this is the largest logistical mobilization by the United States since World War II. When you think about it, there are a lot of parallels. We've repurposed factories. We've repurposed delivery. The logistics of this, as Trey just mentioned, are stunning. The beauty of it is, though, within it, with every problem, there's some good in it. There's going to be a lot of extra employment added just working the logistics supply chain, Greg, to get this vaccine out. So that's the direct. The indirect that we think long-term is even far more important. With a vaccine coming, we have what we call economically and planning, what we call a bridge to somewhere versus not a bridge to nowhere. And what we mean by that is markets are driven by confidence. And when either individuals or companies have no idea where the downside is, like we had back in April, it is a tremendous lick on confidence. What the vaccine does basically is it gives individuals and consumers when they spend, companies when they spend, it gives them a floor of confidence that help is on the way. And that will be a monumental difference for markets going forward.
And I totally agree with you. I know we as a group agree on that as well. And that's why we wanted to bring this information to our viewers today to understand that a lot of things are coming together, that we had a lot of uncertainty out there, but we're going to start seeing the confidence meter, I think, start to move up where people know these are decisions I can make going forward. It's also why at Five Plan Partners, we embrace financial planning in relation to wealth management so that we have a game plan in place and you can plan accordingly to what's thrown at you in relation to market conditions. And with us going into 2021 here in the next few weeks, which is hard to believe, it's nice to know that this week we'll get some answers out of the Fed, and we've also actually seen the vaccination being given to people in this country. So on that note, we want you to be informed. We want to let you know that we're here for you to talk one-on-one, to talk in virtual meetings from the standpoint of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. We had this vlog as well as other vlogs that we're doing to provide information to you. And we hope you have a great week as we continue on into December, this holiday season. And as we look to 2021, we're starting to see visibility and understand things that we can count on. So take care. Have a great week. Thanks.